But in this day and age, can technology and innovation help the aviation industry rebuild economies through travel? Let's find out from SITA President for Asia Pacific, Sumesh Patel. Sumesh, thank you so much for joining us. Nice to see you once again. How has this pandemic transformed the aviation industry over the past 2 years?
Thanks for having me, Rico. Rico, I think we've learned a lot in the last 2 years. And I would say this time around, recovery was much faster than any other crisis we have seen in the industry. So if you look at the numbers in terms of the passenger number, the domestic traffic has already come back to the pre-COVID level, to 2019-11, be it in US, domestic in China before they again locked down, India, everything is above the pre-pandemic level. Now, according to us, from SITA perspective, there are two areas which are really vital for our industry to recover. One is the passenger processing, and two, I would say the digital border technologies. So if I look at, from the report, the economic impact report of the WTGC, it clearly says that in 2019, every 1 in 10 job was responsible coming out of the travel and tourism. And it contributed to 10.3% of the global GDP. And all the new jobs are going to be, 1 in 4 job is going to be coming from travel and tourism. So clearly the industry is really growing up. But one area which is holding us back clearly is the standardization and the technology on the digital transformation in terms of basically border technology.
How fast has been the pickup of the digitalization process in the aviation industry? How fast have we seen it progress over the past 2 years?
I would say on that, there are two areas. One on the digital health pass. There have been a really fast uptake. So a lot of countries have come up with their own digital pass schemes. Even IATA, they came up with their own health pass scheme. The challenge is the interoperability of all of these health passes. So for you as a passenger, you are still worried that, if you're traveling from destination A to destination B, you are not sure that what all you will need in terms of making sure that your journey is seamless.
But do we really need this digital health pass, a unified one? Because a lot of borders are currently already opening up without a unified digital health pass. Do we still need one?
I would say what we will still need is on at least the vaccination, to have a record of vaccination and a digital vaccination. So if you look at in old days, the yellow fever card, which is still valid, but it was only for certain countries. But if you look at on the other side now with COVID-19, any country you go, at least minimum they would ask you is your vaccination certificate.
That's true. And I was even speaking with the chief executive of the Singapore Tourism Board, who was on the final word a few days ago. And I even asked him, apart from the primary doses, will there eventually be a need to present your booster shots, whether it be a first one or a second one? Do you think there will be a need for that going forward as we continue to reopen our economies and borders?
I would say certainly yes, because from our perspective and what the industry experts are saying is, and the health experts are saying, that the COVID is not going to go away. So there are going to be new variants coming from time to time, and we will need to be vaccinated. So if we have the updated health credential always available digitally, it will make our life much easier.
But digitizing the aviation industry, and moving it forward even more, will this mean cost efficiencies for airlines and airports, or a bigger added cost to the operational expense of the industry?
I would say it will bring cost efficiency than added cost. So to give you an example, for example, as per IATA, the average passenger processing time pre-COVID globally was about 1.5 hours. And that average, with 75% of the traffic, will go to about 5.5 hours, and almost about 8.5 hours when we reach pre-COVID levels on international travel. So it's clearly putting a lot of stress on the resources at the terminal. So the airport terminal can't go on building additional space, another terminal next to it. So clearly you will need technologies to basically help face these challenges. And clearly it is technologies, if you look at the cost-wise, and you can reuse the current technologies. So what we're trying to do is, for example, if you're checking this, you can just add a camera to make sure that it works biometric enabled.
And everybody wants contactless travel right now. Everything right here on your smartphone, right? Your air ticket, your vaccination card, everything on your smartphone to basically expedite your move from the counter all the way to the aircraft and out of it.
Absolutely, and that's why in SITA we call it, your mobile as a remote control. So everything you can need to do, you can even do it even before arriving in the airport terminal.
What about here in the Philippines? I'm sure you're talking to a lot of airlines and airports across the archipelago. What has been their response in taking up new technologies and innovation in travel?
I would say the Philippines is also very keen because the challenges are exactly the same as any other country. So, for example, in terms of the resources, the expansion of the terminal, or getting efficiencies on the aircraft or going green. So, we are talking to the airport and the airlines also in Philippines to implement these.
But what have they told you? Do they have the financial muscle, the financial resources? Because a lot of the local airlines and airports lost a ton of money over the past 2 years.
You've got a really good point. And that's where, we are a bit unique because being part of the air transport industry, so SITA is fully owned by and dedicated to the air transport industry. So we work with our industry players and say that, rather than making capital investment, we can invest on their behalf and, help them with the more of an OPEX or a monthly charge kind of a system and reuse the investment what they've already made.
Sumesh Patel, President, Asia Pacific of SITA. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word.
Thank you, Rico. Thank you.